Welcome to the Hire Yourself podcast. If you're ready to take control of your destiny, build wealth, and live life on your own terms, this is the place for you. Each week, Nat and I will talk about business, franchising, and personal growth to help make you more successful. Good morning, Nat.
Good morning, Pete. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am pumped up.
Awesome. What are we pumped up about today?
I'm always pumped up. I am pumped up because today we get to talk to an old friend, a friend that is a franchising expert, and he has one of the coolest franchises I've ever heard of. We're going to talk to him today to learn about this product and service. What do you think?
I'm up for it.
Yeah, you should. You should be pumped up like me. So I am happy and excited to introduce Steve Lajiness. Steve Lajiness is a friend of mine, an industry expert, and he's going to tell us about an awesome company that he works for, and more specifically, an excellent franchise concept opportunity. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Super excited to be here. This is a great opportunity. Love franchising.
Well, I know you love franchising. We'll decide if it's a good opportunity once you get done with us here.
Absolutely. It's a great opportunity.
Well, Steve, I know that you're an industry expert. You have been in franchising now for over 35 years. Can you tell us a little bit about your background in franchising? Because I know it's very interesting.
Sure. Yeah, it's all over the board, Pete. I'll tell you, I started in the restaurant industry. That's where I cut my teeth. Worked for very large franchisors like KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. Back then, guys, it was so long ago, it was known as Pepsi Brands, right? And then it became Yum Brands, which is kind of a cool name in itself for a restaurant group. But, I worked with that group and I did everything you can do in franchising. I did training, I did operations, I did support. I supported franchisees coast to coast, from Florida all the way to Michigan, and from California all the way to Michigan, and everything in between. And I really liked the industry, and it just really grew on me. And I liked franchising so much that my wife and I actually became franchisees.
Holy cow. What franchises?
So we started with Del Taco, Pete, because think about it. Obviously, we had some experience at Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
And so we started with Del Taco, and we opened 2 of those in Toledo, Ohio. And we eventually added 5 Tim Hortons to our mix.
Holy cow. That's a great franchise.
It's great. Tim Hortons is based in Canada, and I was in Michigan just over the line. So it was a pretty well-known concept here. So we had 5 Tim Hortons and 2 Del Tacos. And so, during that time, my wife pretty much took the realm of operations of those locations, and I stayed in franchising in general. And what happened is I left the restaurant industry, Pete, to join the service-based industry. And I got to tell you, I learned a ton in restaurants, but boy, once I got into the service-based industry, I never turned back. I mean, it's been phenomenal. I love service-based industry. And so I've worked with several franchisors during that time. And I've done training, operations, support. And then I got into a development role, which is what I'm in today, obviously. And gosh, I've had the pleasure, Pete, of launching 7 concepts prior to this one that I'm working on now. I've had the unique opportunity to put over 1,000 people into business.
Wow. That's quite an accomplishment. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You got to be proud of that.
I've been proud of it, and it's been fun, Pete. But, my favorite phone call is when I get, this just happened last week. I got a call from a gentleman that I placed in a franchise. His all-in initial investment, Pete, was $200,000. He sold the business 5 years later for $3.5 million.
Wow.
Those are the good calls.
Yeah, you did a huge favor for him, changing his life from that standpoint.
And it's so fun. I mean, that's what I really like. I mean, franchising changed my life for me and my family, Pete. And I just want to be able to have the opportunity to do that for others. It's just so fun. It's great.
Okay, so you've been on a journey, and I believe you are now with BrandONE, which is an elite franchise development company.
Yes. Yeah. So BrandONE, I like to say we're the premier franchise development consultancy in America. We partner with franchisors to help them sustainably grow their value in franchising. And the folks that I work with are phenomenal at BrandONE. All of them have 25 plus years of experience like I do. And it's just phenomenal because they're the industry leaders and the experts. What makes that unique is we're not just trying to sell somebody a franchise, Pete. We're trying to find if they're a good fit for the franchisor that we have. And gosh, the great thing about it is we work with 15 brands.
Wow.
So what do you think the opportunity is with the candidate I'm talking to? If they're not a good fit for one of the brands, they're probably going to be a good fit for the other one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's so important to help find the right match, both from the candidate standpoint, the people you're working with, and also you helping the franchisor find the right one, because it is a partnership and you got to have a great partner.
Absolutely.
Now, as being a member of the BrandONE team, you get to pick which franchise concept you want to lead with.
Yes.
And I believe from your standpoint, you picked an awesome one. So you are now kind of taking the lead on lifetime green coatings.
Absolutely.
And so I want to tell everybody about this amazing franchise concept. So lifetime green coatings, what the heck do they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do floor coatings for residential and commercial and industrial. So this is a great opportunity to be in business that does B2C and B2B, both verticals. And it's great because the product that we use is completely unique than any other products out there.
All right. So hold on here. So floor coatings, we're talking about if I want to have that good looking floor in my garage, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Right?
So we do garage floors, we do patios, we do decks, we do basements, we do kitchens. We do laundry rooms, you name it, we put it down on the surface.
So if I've got a surface, I want it to look great, I want to put this special product on, I can do that. And then on the commercial side, so that car dealership that has a service drive, or that restaurant that has that great floor, looks awesome, that's what you guys do?
Absolutely. And the great thing about it is we're waterproof, salt resistant. So Pete, you can put this application on like decks of boats that are out in the ocean.
Wow.
Because it sustains with salt water.
Okay, but there is a lot of people that play in this space. There's a lot of companies that are in the coating space. And like we had our garage done and they came in and did the epoxy floor. It took a couple of days. It was kind of a pain in the rear, but there's a lot of competition out there.
There is. And here's the big difference. So the two competitors that we run against pretty much either do epoxy or what we call polyura. Okay. Here's what's unique about our product versus theirs. First of all, you can go and buy epoxy at Home Depot or Lowe's if you want and put it on yourself, right? You can do that with polyura. Guess what? You can't get our product at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's exclusive for our franchisees only. Now, what makes it unique is that it has no VOCs. What on earth is a VOC? It's a volatile organic compound. We have 0 VOCs in our product, which make it a green, environmentally friendly product. I'll tell you, Pete, nobody else can say that about their products. Epoxy has VOCs in it. Polyura has VOCs in it. So we are the only product. The great thing with that is, Pete, I'm sure when you had your garage done, you probably smelled it when they were putting the product down. It's horrible.
Oh, terrible. And the deal is, I think they use some type of acid or something to etch the floor to get it ready.
Unbelievable. And we use all natural products. And I just put the product down yesterday. I just tried it myself. 0. I'm talking 0 odor.
Wow.
It has no scent, quick drying, 3 to 4 times thicker than epoxy. What does that mean to you as somebody who uses it in the garage? It means that it fills in cracks better, and it is also 100% flexible. Now, why is that important? Here's the deal. At some point, your concrete may shift in your garage and it may crack. When that happens, guess what? it's going to crack your epoxy floor coating.
Yes, I got that happening in my garage. I got it chipped.
Happens all the time.
And they tell me I can't just touch that up. I got to redo the whole thing. I'm not real happy about that.
No, you'd have to strip it down to the foundation and redo it and pay full price to have it redone.
Oh.
Your product is flexible, Pete, so it sustains those cracks and it won't crack. Our product doesn't crack. And the best part about it is we stand behind it with a lifetime guarantee.
And I remember reading it could be touched up.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the deal. You could have just a small blemish in your floor, like maybe a cut, a scrape. Somehow you affected it and it really had impact on your floor. Just as small as a 1 inch by 1 inch area. We can actually go in, Pete, cut that area out, replace it within minutes, and you'll never even know we were there. If that was an epoxy floor, they'd have to redo the entire floor thousands of dollars later.
Unbelievable. When we talk about your product, it's special from the standpoint because it can go on about any different type of surface. And so whether it's wood, like if I want to put on my deck or my cement driveway or my asphalt, it goes on anything.
It does. It can go on wood, metal, concrete, asphalt. Very, very adaptable to the surfaces that you put it on. It's fantastic from that standpoint, and it's quick drying too. So we can put our product down and you can drive on it the next day. 24 hours later, you can use that surface.
And that's different than epoxy because epoxy is a couple-day process. So here you could do, if you're doing garages, you could do, say, 6 in a day because it dries pretty fast.
Yeah, that's a significant factor. So when you look at epoxy flooring, I mean, maybe they could do 2 garages in one day, a team of 2, right? We can go into your point and do 5 to 6 garages a day. So what that does for the franchisee is it allows them to have significant higher cash flow from each vehicle and reap phenomenal benefits from the margin standpoint.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, in our item 19, which is disclosed to the public, so I can share this, our franchisees, have the opportunity to make 45% net margin.
Holy cow, that's incredible. Wow. Then that's net after royalties and all that kind of stuff.
Net after everything. That's in your pocket.
All right. So it's a superior product. My neighbor has a cement driveway that is pitting because of the salt. Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, the product, this Lifetime Green Coatings, it's self-leveling. So my neighbor could put this on the cement driveway. You could, at the end of it, never know that those pits were there and that it would be safe. Salt wouldn't be able to eat that product away or anything else like that.
Correct. Absolutely correct. It's a very unique product and super safe to use. In fact, when our technicians put the product down, Pete, they don't have to wear any safety gear like you do for epoxy because it's not harmful.
Okay. So you have this superior product. Nobody else can get it. You have a patent on it. So it's a patent protected. So nobody can kind of knock it off from that standpoint. So let's talk a little bit about the franchise system. So how many franchise locations do you have open?
Yeah, that's the thing. We have a corporate location today that's been open 6 years. So what we did is we tested, tried, and really put this product to use and made sure that it was phenomenal before we rolled it out to the public. The second thing we did is we launched a special location in Denver to test commercial applications. So not only did we test residential, then we opened a facility and just did 100% commercial applications. We do all different types of applications on the commercial side, from greenhouses to stadiums, you name it, we've done it. And that really proved the model out. So this past year, we opened it up to the public, Pete, and that's only been about 2 months ago. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, Pete, we have so many people excited about this opportunity. We just had our first discovery day, and I've got 10 people scheduled for upcoming events. So I'm going to tell you, my prediction is within 12 months, we'll have at least 50 different franchisees servicing on average about 5 territories each across the country. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's explosive growth. 252 to 250 locations is absolutely amazing. And so the benefit of being an emerging brand where you have a corporate location, couple tests going on, is that there are major markets available for lifetime green coatings.
Absolutely. You get the pick of the litter, I like to call it, right? So, if you're an early adapter and you're okay with starting off with a new concept that's been proven, right? It's a great opportunity to be part of that and join the band. And I'll tell you, for the folks that out there saying, well, gosh, I'd really like to be able to validate with a few franchisees. Well, here's the challenge. You can do that if you wait a couple of years, but then your territory is going to be sold.
Yeah. Right. If you know the name of the franchise concept, you've already missed it in some of these hot markets for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. So as you're looking for franchise partners, what characteristics are you looking for in future franchisees?
Sure. So there's two different ways to run this model. And this is one of the things that really excite me. You can be owner operator in this model, or you can be what we call semi-absentee. Semi-absentee, many of you may have heard that term before. It's basically where you maybe keep a job and start a business on the side, right? Well, we've proven that you can do that and start a business on the side because that's how we run our location in Dallas. We run it with management out of our location in Indianapolis, Indiana. So it works. But the characteristics we're looking for are people that have people skills, somebody that can have a conversation like we're having today. I'll tell you, Pete, you don't have to be hardcore sales because we're going to help teach our franchisees how to promote the opportunity, how to get customers through digital marketing and acquiring customers that fashion. So you don't have to be hardcore sales. You just got to be somebody that's good with people and can manage teams. The great thing about this concept is you start with yourself or a manager if you're semi-absentee and two applicators with one vehicle. That one vehicle can produce about $600,000 in revenue per year out of one vehicle.
Wow. And so your salesperson could also be your manager. So if it's semi-absentee, and semi-absentee is defined as, hey, we still need to mind our business. We have to watch over that business 15 to 20 hours a week, managing the manager, planning the marketing, all that kind of stuff, writing the checks. But the idea is I can keep my corporate income $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, start the business on the side, pay that manager $60,000 a year. That's a pretty good proposition.
Absolutely. It works really well.
Got it. And what I heard you say earlier is that you're looking for franchisees that want to scale, to build something larger. So yes. I think I heard you say your average franchise is going to have 3 to 5 territories. Is that what you're looking for? People that are looking to build something larger?
Yeah, we're looking for folks that want to build a bigger opportunity. I mean, out of our Dallas location, it's a 5-pack area. So it's basically made up of 5 territories. The way our territories work is there are 100,000 occupied single family dwellings.
Okay.
So you could do the math on that pretty quick. So in Dallas, they service 5 territories. And this year they'll hit about $3 million in revenue with 45% net margin as a franchise.
Holy cow. That's absolutely amazing. And when we talk about houses, that's not population. So if it's 100,000 houses, that's about 250,000 in population or whatever.
Pretty accurate. And the nice thing about that, Pete, what I always tell everybody is, hey, everybody gets a fair territory. They all have the same opportunity that anyone else would. It's just how big is the area based on that population of households.
Yeah, well, as hot as your brand is, I would think that you'd want to pick the territory, the largest territory you could, so that once you figure out how great it is, somebody else hasn't taken all those other territories around you.
Absolutely. And, you can launch with yourself in those 2 techs right out of the gate, the applicators, in one truck. Your investment for those multiple territories doesn't really change other than the territory fee.
Yeah.
Because you still start with 1 truck and then you add the second truck and the second team when you're ready.
Yeah. So you kind of expand your growth in the territories. You start one, and then you kind of build out. It's a development schedule based on, for lack of better terms, geographic area. I got it. Now you're a seasoned business owner in the past, and you work helping people find franchise. What characteristics do you think an entrepreneur needs to have to be successful?
Yeah, I think somebody that can follow systems is the key, because why reinvent the wheel, right? If you're going to get into a franchise opportunity, you got to be somebody who's willing to follow systems. We like ex-military folks that know how to follow systems. anybody that can follow a system can do this, because I'll be the first to say with lifetime green coatings, it's not rocket science, folks. It's not that hard to do. We can train anybody how to apply the product. So it's really just a format of following the right recipe for success. And it's that simple.
That's awesome. And when you think about all your experience, I always go back to advice people have given me. Is there a piece of advice that somebody has given you that you go, holy cow, that was pretty amazing?
Yeah, I would say I follow leaders that focus on always trying to become better. How do you improve? How do you get better every time? How do you take something from this level to the next level? And really know what your strengths and weaknesses are to do that. So like for me, I'm not somebody who likes to get caught in detail with financials and paying bills and things like that, right? I'm more of the higher level visionary guy. And I'm great at working with people and doing sales and going out and network and doing like B2B and B2C both. But I'm not the book guy. So the bookkeeping guy. So what you do is you hire the folks that you're not good at. And the best advice I can give is know what you're good at, be good at what you do and what you like to do, and surround yourself with good team of talent to offset you.
Yeah, that's great. So hire to your weakness, play to your strength.
Absolutely.
Got it. And are there any thought leaders you follow?
There's several. I mean, it all comes down to, for me, is that consistency and ways to improve. So there's all different types of leaders that do that. And I just follow that realm. My father-in-law said to me one time, he said, you just got to make it work, right? And that's really the key, is make it work. When you consider a franchise, you've got to make sure you go through steps, right? That's the critical aspect of this.
Yeah, I think the amazing piece about franchising is you can take two people, two individuals, two executives. They both invest in the same franchise. One is wildly successful, the other one isn't. And that's the big thing, is that you have to make it work. So I agree 100% with that advice. Well, Steve, we're super excited to see where you go and how you build Lifetime Green Coatings. It sounds like an amazing product, amazing opportunity. So thank you for sharing the story and the great franchise concept today with us.
Absolutely, Pete, it's my pleasure.
Thanks for listening to the Hire Yourself podcast. For more resources, check out our website at hireyourself.com. And remember to subscribe to this podcast to receive each episode. Please leave us a rating, and we'd love to hear your feedback or suggestions for topics.